think the gardening season's winding down and it's time to put away your tools? What if I told you that August isn't the finish line, but actually the starting gun for a whole second wave of delicious produce? That's right, you heard me. Today we're going to bust the myth that it's too late to plant. I'll show you 10 quick maturing crops that will not only thrive, but will also keep your plates full of fresh veggies and greens straight from the garden, right up until the first hard frost. So stick around and let's give your garden a second wind. Many home gardeners, out of habit, traditionally see August as the month solely for harvesting and getting the garden ready for winter. This idea often comes from a time when seed varieties were limited and quick-growing hybrids were barely known. But garden technology and seed breeding have come a long way. The days are getting shorter, the intense summer heat is finally subsiding, and nights are becoming cooler. For many crops, these are perfect conditions, even better than the scorching July sun. The key, of course, is knowing exactly what to plant. So, let's kick off our list of garden speedsters. And first up, of course, is the undisputed champion of quick harvests, the radish. This root vegetable truly is a speed demon. Just think about it. Some varieties, like the famous 18-day type, go from seed to a crisp, juicy bite on your plate in less than 3 weeks. That's quicker than you can truly miss the summer sun. Many people think radishes are purely a spring crop, but let me let you in on a secret. Planting them in August often yields an even better harvest. Firstly, the scorching heat starts to subside. It's intense heat that makes radishes tough, bitter, and causes them to bolt, or go to seed. In the cooler August soil, this problem is almost non-existent. Secondly, the days become shorter, and radishes, being short-day plants, thrive on this. In these conditions, they channel all their energy into forming juicy root vegetables, rather than growing useless foliage. Plus, the main enemy of young radishes, the flea beetle, isn't as active by late summer. What do you need for success? It's simple. Choose ultra-early varieties. Besides 18-day, French breakfast or cherry belle are excellent choices. Sow seeds shallowly, about 1/2 inch deep, and most importantly, keep the soil consistently moist. A dry bed is a guarantee of hollow, pungent radishes. Picture this. It's mid-September and you're crunching on the freshest, subtly sweet radishes from your own garden. It's a wonderful way to extend your gardening season. Next up are leafy greens, and of course, lettuce takes centre stage here. Remember how often lettuce can be fussy in the scorching summer heat? It often turns bitter or bolts almost instantly, sending up a flower stalk and becoming completely inedible. Well, August and September are its moment to shine. Cool nights and moderate daytime warmth make the leaves incredibly tender, juicy and sweet, with absolutely no hint of bitterness. These are truly ideal conditions for growing lettuce. Which varieties should you choose? Focus on loose leaf and semi-heading types, for example, Lolo Rossa, Oak Leaf, or the reliable Odessa Kucheriavets. These varieties grow quickly, and you can start harvesting in just 25 to 30 days. However, with heading types like Iceberg, it's best not to risk it. They might not have enough time to form a dense head before the cold weather arrives. The main secret: don't plant the seeds too deep. Simply scatter them over the surface of a moist garden bed and lightly cover with a thin layer of soil or peat. And, just like with radishes, make sure the soil never completely dries out. And here's the best part: you don't have to wait for an entire head to mature. You can simply pick the outer leaves as needed, and the plant will keep growing, providing a continuous supply of fresh greens. It's like having a living green conveyor belt for your autumn salads. Time to talk about another autumn garden superstar, spinach. Many home gardeners try planting spinach in spring and often end up disappointed. Just as those first tender leaves appear, it quickly bolts, becoming tough and bitter. Sound familiar? The secret is that spinach, much like radishes, doesn't like long daylight hours and heat. For the plant, these conditions signal it's time to reproduce, not focus on growing luscious leaves. That's why planting in August is a game changer. As the days shorten and nights cool down, spinach truly thrives. It doesn't rush to flower. Instead, it puts all its energy into developing a magnificent rosette of large, fleshy, dark green leaves. Trust me, fall spinach is a whole different ballgame. It's significantly more tender and sweeter than anything you'll get in spring. Opt for reliable varieties like Matador or Butterfly. In just a month to 6 weeks, you'll be harvesting those first delicious leaves for salads, smoothies, or cooked dishes. This isn't just a snack. It's a nutritional powerhouse, packed with vitamins to boost your immunity this autumn. Planting spinach in August means a harvest you could only dream of in spring. It's the perfect way to make the most of those empty garden beds. How about arugula? If you love greens with character, with a delightful nutty and peppery kick, then August is the absolute perfect time to sow it. This zesty green grows incredibly fast, and what's even better, its flavour truly shines in cooler temperatures. In summer, under the intense sun, arugula leaves tend to get overly tough and excessively bitter. But with the moderate warmth of August and September, its signature peppery bite transforms into something refined, sophisticated. It doesn't burn your palate. Instead, it offers a delightful complement to your meals. Just 3, maybe 4 weeks after sowing, you'll be harvesting your first tender young leaves. And the best part about arugula is its fantastic ability to regrow. There's no need to pull the whole plant up by the roots. Simply snip or pinch off the outer leaves, leaving the central growing point intact, and it will continuously provide you with fresh greens, practically until the first hard frost. Imagine fresh, aromatic arugula, perfect for pizzas, salads or sandwiches, harvested straight from your garden in the middle of autumn. It's arguably the easiest way to add a touch of Italian flair to your table, with virtually no effort. Now let's talk about the herbs for your table. And when it comes to must-haves, dill is undoubtedly the star. You might think it's straightforward, right? But even with dill, there are a few tricks to know. Dill is a crop you should be planting continuously throughout the summer, and August is definitely no exception. Many people assume that if they plant dill once in the spring, it will keep producing until fall. But that's not how it works. Spring-sown dill quickly toughens up and tends to bolt, forming seed heads. What we really want is that tender, young, aromatic foliage. That's precisely why planting dill in August is so crucial. While your spring dill is maturing and getting past its prime, you'll be sowing a fresh batch. In just 3 to 4 weeks, you'll have a new supply of young, succulent greens, perfect for salads, pickling cucumbers, or simply garnishing your freshly boiled potatoes. For late-season planting, opt for bushy varieties like alligator or bouillon. These types are slow to bolt and produce a much greater abundance of foliage. Dill seeds can take a while to germinate due to the essential oils on their surface. To speed things up, you can soak them in warm water for a couple of days, changing the water regularly. This simple trick will help you get your harvest even quicker. The same goes for cilantro, or coriander, as its seeds are known. If you've ever tried to grow cilantro in the heat of summer, you know the struggle. Delicate seedlings emerge, only to bolt almost immediately. Just a few lacy leaves appear, and almost instantly, it sends up a flower stalk. You end up with hardly any usable greens, and certainly no seeds worth waiting for. But here's the secret. Forget those summer struggles. An August planting for cilantro is exactly what the doctor ordered. Like many other herbs, cilantro simply can't tolerate the heat and long daylight hours of summer. For the plant, these are clear signals to immediately flower and produce seeds. However, the cooler temperatures and shortening days of late summer are its ideal environment. In these comfortable conditions, cilantro won't be in a hurry to bolt. Instead, it will dedicate all its energy to developing lush, sprawling and incredibly aromatic plants. You'll get large, tender leaves, bursting with that vibrant, full-bodied flavour. You'll be able to enjoy multiple harvests, ensuring you have fresh greens for salads, soups and sauces all through the autumn. This is your genuine opportunity to grow truly high-quality cilantro without battling nature every step of the way. Don't forget about green onions for their tops. This is hands down the easiest and most reliable way to ensure you have fresh greens right up until late autumn. And the best part, no need to fuss with seeds. All you'll need are some regular onion sets, or even small leftover bulbs from your harvest. You can also use healthy, firm onions from the grocery store. Find an empty patch in your garden and simply push the bulbs into the soil. Don't plant them too deep. Leave the very top just visible at soil level. You can plant them quite close together, just a couple of inches apart. In just a couple of weeks, you'll see those juicy green shoots emerging. Cooler weather is actually a bonus. The greens won't grow too fast, but they'll be wonderfully fleshy, aromatic, and stay tender for a long time. You can either pull up entire bulbs as you need them, or just snip off the greens with scissors, leaving the bulb in the ground to produce another fresh flush of growth. It's one of the most reliable ways to get those essential garden vitamins, even when the main summer season feels like a distant memory. Now, how about we add a touch of exotic flair to our fall garden? What about pak choy? If you've never tried growing this amazing Asian green, August is the perfect time to start. Pak choy, sometimes called bok choy or Chinese white cabbage, is a true gift for any home gardener. It grows incredibly fast, going from seed to harvest in just 40 to 50 days. This means if you sow seeds in early August, you're guaranteed a delicious crop by September. The main advantage of pak choy is that it doesn't form a typical head like traditional cabbage. Instead, you harvest its crisp, juicy, fleshy stalks with tender green leaves. Its flavour is often described as a mild blend of cabbage and spinach, with a delicate fresh note. Unlike its common cabbage relatives, pak choy is much less demanding to grow. It's cold hardy and thrives in the cooler temperatures of fall. Plus, by late summer, the activity of flea beetles, the bane of most brassicas, significantly decreases. This means you'll likely have little to no pest control to worry about. It's simply magnificent in salads, soups, and quick stir-fries. Give it a try. It's incredibly easy. So let's talk about where to plant everything. By August, many garden beds are already cleared, but simply sowing seeds into tired soil isn't the best idea. Your soil needs a bit of a boost and preparation for its second act. Before replanting, make sure to thoroughly loosen the soil in your beds. Over the summer, the soil gets compacted from watering and rain, and young roots need air to thrive. Use a hand cultivator or hoe to lightly work the top 5 to 7 centimetres, 2-3 inches of soil. There's no need to dig deeply, as this can disturb the soil's delicate structure. Now for the most important part, feeding your soil. Throughout spring and summer, your first round of plants will have depleted many essential nutrients. To ensure a successful second harvest, you need to replenish those nutrients. The ideal solution is to work in some well-rotted compost or vermicompost. Sprinkle it evenly over the surface of the bed, roughly 2 litres per square metre, and lightly rake it into the topsoil. This will provide your new plants with the essential initial energy boost for quick, vigorous growth. Avoid using fresh manure. It can burn the delicate roots of young seedlings. And steer clear of high nitrogen mineral fertilizers. Excess nitrogen in the fall is counterproductive. It reduces plants' cold hardiness. Just a bit of compost, and your garden bed will be ready for another fruitful season. Now let's talk about the most crucial element, water. Proper watering is absolutely key. It's easy to assume August means autumn is around the corner, but don't be complacent. The sun can still be very intense, and soil can dry out quickly, especially in warmer regions. Tiny seedlings, freshly sprouted, are extremely sensitive to dry conditions. Their delicate roots are barely below the surface, where the soil dries out fastest. Even a single hot day without water can ruin everything you've worked for. So, for the first 2 weeks after planting, monitor your seedbed closely. Keep the soil consistently moist, but never soggy. It's better to water little and often, potentially even daily during dry spells. Use a watering can with a fine spray nozzle to prevent washing away soil or harming fragile seedlings. Once plants are larger and more established, you can water less frequently but more deeply, ensuring the water reaches their deeper root systems. Remember, diligent and correct watering in August is crucial for the success of your second crop. Now let's get a bit more serious about root vegetables. Think it's too late for these? Think again. Of course, you won't be harvesting giant beets for winter storage at this point, but that's not even our goal. Our aim is to grow what's known as baby produce. These are small, incredibly tender, sweet root vegetables about the size of a ping pong ball or just a little bit bigger. The beauty of these is they cook in minutes and their flavour far surpasses that of their overgrown, tougher counterparts. Plus, with young beets, you can eat not just the root, but also the juicy, tender greens, perfect for salads or soups as a fantastic substitute for spinach. For this purpose, choose the fastest maturing varieties. Varieties like Bordeaux 237, Detroit, or Pablo F1 are excellent choices. These typically mature from germination to harvest in just 60 to 80 days. Plant them in early August and you'll be harvesting a wonderful crop of young, sweet roots by early October. It's a fantastic way to add fresh, homegrown vitamins to your fall table. Daikon, also known as Japanese radish, is an excellent choice for August planting. In fact, August can be an even more ideal planting time for daikon than spring. This is because daikon, much like common radishes, is a short day plant. During the long days of spring and early summer, it tends to bolt quickly, putting its energy into forming a flower stalk rather than developing a good root. However, as the days begin to shorten, daikon feels right at home, dedicating all its energy to growing a large, succulent root. When sown in August, daikon grows remarkably fast, maturing in just 40 to 70 days, depending on the variety. And the best part is that the autumn harvest is practically free of the bitterness sometimes found in radishes. The roots themselves are incredibly tender, crisp, and have a wonderfully sweet flavour. Opt for early to mid-season varieties like Minowise or Sasha. These varieties are perfectly suited for our climate. Daikon stores exceptionally well, meaning you can enjoy fresh, vitamin-rich salads, not just in autumn, but well into early winter. It's a wonderful vegetable, sadly and undeservedly rare in many home gardens. It might surprise many, but you can actually plant certain pea varieties as late as August. Naturally, we're not talking about massive yields for winter freezing. Our goal is simply to savour fresh, sweet, tender pea pods in late autumn, long after everyone else has forgotten about such a delightful garden treat. This method works particularly well in warmer southern climates with extended mild autumns, but even in more moderate regions, it's worth taking a chance. The key to success lies in choosing the right variety. You'll want the earliest, ultra-fast maturing sweet varieties that go from germination to their first delicious pods in just 45 to 50 days. Varieties like Ambrosia or Zhegalova 112 are excellent options. Before planting, make sure to soak your pea seeds in warm water for 24 hours. This helps them swell and germinate more quickly. Choose the sunniest, most sheltered spot in your garden for them. And remember to install supports right away, so the plants have something to climb with their delicate tendrils. Just imagine this small autumn delight, plucking a crisp, juicy pod, bursting with sweet peas, right from the vine in mid-autumn. It's a little miracle, and one you can easily create with your own hands. Now let's talk about how to outsmart nature and extend the life of our autumn garden. The main enemy of late plantings, of course, is the first frost. These can strike suddenly and wipe out an entire harvest, literally overnight. But we have a reliable ally. Row covers, a lightweight covering made from non-woven fabric, often known as garden fabric or spunbond, can work wonders. Even the thinnest row cover, with a density of just 17 to 30 grams per square metre, can protect your plants from frost down to -2 or even -3 degrees Celsius. This can give you an extra 2 to 3 weeks of growing season, which is often crucial for an autumn harvest. It's best to set up low hoops over your garden beds beforehand, using wire or plastic pipes. That way, whenever you receive an unfavourable weather forecast, you can quickly drape the cover over your plants. During the day, when the sun is out, it's best to remove them so the plants receive light and ventilation. This simple mini greenhouse not only protects against the cold, but also creates a more favourable microclimate, speeding up the growth of your vegetables. It's a small effort that can yield tremendous benefits. Another key to achieving an excellent, hassle-free autumn harvest is choosing the right location. Don't just pick any spot for your subsequent plantings. Apply the principles of crop rotation, even within a single growing season. The ideal spots are beds that have just been cleared after early potatoes, onions grown for bulbs, or winter garlic. Why these specifically? Firstly, for these crops, you likely enrich the soil with a good amount of organic matter, either last fall or this spring, so the soil is still quite fertile. Your new plants will get a head start from this rich legacy. Secondly, these previous crops belong to different plant families. For instance, after onions and garlic, you can confidently plant any leafy greens, radishes, or beets. This significantly reduces the risk of soil-borne diseases and pests accumulating, which are often specific to a single plant family. You effectively reset the bed, preventing pathogens from getting a foothold. So you tackle two issues simultaneously. You prevent the ground from lying fallow and getting taken over by weeds, while also creating the most favourable and healthy conditions for your new crops. It's a smart and efficient way to utilise every inch of your garden space. So, what do you do when your main harvest is done, but you don't feel like planting anything edible, or simply don't have the time? Whatever you do, don't leave your soil bare. That's a huge mistake. Bare soil is an open invitation for weeds and erosion. But there's an elegant solution. Cover crops. Cover crops, also known as green manures, are plants you sow not for harvest, but to improve and revitalise your soil. And August is the perfect time to plant them. One of the most popular and fast-growing cover crops is white mustard. It sprouts in as little as 3 days and quickly builds up green mass. Its roots do an excellent job of loosening the soil, while the essential oils in its foliage deter pests like wireworms and suppress diseases such as late blight. Another excellent option is Phacelia. It's a versatile cover crop that isn't related to any common garden vegetables, meaning you can plant it after anything and before anything. By planting cover crops in August, you give them plenty of time to grow before the cold weather sets in. In late autumn, you can either mow them down and incorporate them into the soil, enriching it with organic matter, or simply leave them on the surface as a protective mulch that will shield your soil from freezing. It's truly the best investment you can make for the health of your future harvest. Now let's talk about a common pitfall many newcomers fall into, often inspired by the idea of a second harvest. Resist the urge. The biggest mistake is planting long-season crops in August. For instance, you won't have enough time to grow late-season cabbage, which needs over 100 days to form a dense, firm head. Avoid planting pumpkins, large carrot varieties, or late-season tomatoes as well. These plants simply won't have enough time to mature before the first serious and consistent frosts arrive. You'll waste your effort, time, and precious seeds, only to end up with green foliage or underdeveloped fruits that will inevitably freeze in October. It's simply a complete waste of resources. Remember, August is for sprinters, not marathon runners. Stick to the varieties and crops we discussed today: radishes, leafy greens, quick maturing beets, and daikon. Focus on plants with a maturity period of no more than 60 or at most 70 days. Only then will your late season planting be guaranteed to yield excellent results. Be realistic, and your garden will thank you for it. To help your late season August plantings truly thrive and gracefully handle the unpredictable autumn weather, mulching is the ultimate secret weapon. Many gardeners are diligent about mulching in spring and summer, but for some reason, they often forget about it come autumn, and that's a real oversight. In fact, mulching during autumn can be even more crucial. While the sun can still warm the soil significantly during the day, nights bring a sharp and often drastic drop in temperature. These rapid temperature swings are a major source of stress for your plant's delicate root systems. A generous layer of organic mulch, whether it's mown and slightly dried grass clippings, straw, or fallen leaves, acts just like a cozy blanket. It effectively buffers these temperature fluctuations, retaining the warmth the soil absorbed all day and preventing roots from chilling too much overnight. Beyond temperature regulation, mulch is also fantastic for conserving precious soil moisture. August can often be a dry month, and with a protective layer of mulch, the ground loses water much slower. This means you'll need to water less frequently, saving you time and effort. And let's not forget, it's also incredibly effective at suppressing weeds, which surprisingly don't take an autumn break. So, once your seedlings have grown a bit and feel established, take that extra step and mulch between your rows. This simple gardening practice will make a world of difference for your plants, ensuring they stay comfortable, happy, and well prepared for the colder months that lie ahead. And remember this, the autumn harvest is more than just a bonus to your summer yield. It boasts its own unique charm and flavour profile. Many seasoned gardeners swear that vegetables ripened in cooler weather often taste superior to their summer counterparts, and there's a good scientific explanation behind it. Cooler nights and moderate daytime temperatures slow down the respiration process in plants. This means that sugars produced in the leaves through photosynthesis aren't used up as quickly. Instead, they accumulate in the root vegetables and leafy greens. This is precisely why autumn carrots or beets often taste noticeably sweeter than those grown in summer. Leafy greens like spinach or lettuce become crisper, juicier, and more tender, losing any excessive bitterness. Even radishes grown in the cool weather develop a milder, more harmonious flavour. So by planting vegetables in August, you're not just extending your growing season, you're giving yourself the chance to enjoy entirely new taste dimensions from your favourite produce. It's a true gift from nature for those who aren't ready to say goodbye to their garden just yet and are willing to give it a second chance. And here's the biggest game changer. The most important crop you can plant in August isn't a vegetable at all. It's the hope of extending your gardening season. You see, it's not just about radishes or spinach. It's about shattering the myth that your gardening season has to end early. This simple act, sowing seeds in late summer, completely transforms your approach to the garden. It stops being a short spring to summer sprint and becomes a full-fledged marathon, bringing you joy and fresh produce right up until the first snow. You don't just get an extra harvest, you extend your gardening enjoyment, secure fresh vitamins when grocery store prices start to soar, and prove to yourself that your plot's potential is far greater than you ever imagined. So, to sum things up, August isn't the end. It's a fantastic opportunity to get a second or even a third harvest from your garden beds. Quick-growing greens, radishes, daikon, and even peas, all are ready to delight you with their freshness and flavour this autumn. The most important thing, don't be afraid to experiment and start planting right away. Thanks for watching until the very end. If you found this video useful and inspiring, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on more tips for your garden and backyard. Now, a question for you. What are you planning to plant in August? Or perhaps you have a secret late-season crop I didn't mention. Share your insights in the comments below. I'd love to read about your experiences.